Welcome to Middle Math Academy's Distributive Property level number 3. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. Let's get started. Make sure your name is at the top of this paper. Let's go ahead and take a look at our learning targets. I can write equivalent expressions and combine like terms using the distributive property, and I can draw a model to represent the distributive property. Before we get started, go ahead and rate yourself 1 through 5 on our learning targets, 1 being the least confident and 5 being the most confident. At the end of the lesson, we'll come back and we'll rate ourselves after we've gotten some more practice. Let's go ahead and get started with some examples. Our opening says draw a model using the distributive property, then write an equivalent expression. The number on the outside of our parentheses is called the coefficient, and it tells us how many groups of terms there are on the inside of our parentheses. So let me zoom in on example 1. In this problem, we have 2 groups of 3a plus 2c. So when I'm drawing my model, I'm going to start by writing 3a and 2c. So you can start by just writing what's on the inside. And then our coefficient is 2, so we're going to do that twice. We have 2 groups of 3a plus 2c. So I'll write 3a again and 2c again. Now I can see that we have a total of 6a plus 4c. And that is our equivalent expression. You cannot combine those to be 10ac. Your final answer is 6a plus 4c. Go ahead and complete example 2 on your own, then come back to the video. In example 2, we have 2 groups of d plus 4e. So I'll write d and then e 4 times. And I'm going to do that twice since we have 2 groups. Now I can see that we have 2d plus 8e. Final answer. We cannot combine these to say 10de. That's a really common mistake people make, so don't be that person. All right, go ahead and complete these example 3 and 4 on your own. The video will not go over those. And let's take a look at some notes. Note number 1, the distributive property means multiplying the number on the outside of the parentheses by each term on the inside. So we talked about how that number on the outside, the coefficient, tells us how many groups. Another way of thinking about it is that we're multiplying that number times each number on the inside. So once you have these notes down, remember you can pause if you need more time. Let's look at example A. We have 11 on the outside of our parentheses. That's our coefficient. We're going to do 11 times 4h, which is 44h. I'm going to bring down my minus, and then you multiply the coefficient times with the second number as well. 11 times 3 is 33. So this would be my final answer, 44h minus 33. Go ahead and try example C on your own, then come back to the video. For example C, I'm going to do 5 times 5m, which is 25m. I'll bring down my plus. 5 times 4n is 20n. Final answer. Remember, you cannot add your m's and n's together. They are separate variables and have different values. Go ahead and complete examples B and D on your own. Then, if your teacher wants you to, check in with them to get their feedback. Go ahead and complete problems A and B, then come back to the video to check your work. Check your work for page 2. Then complete the rest of page 2 on your own and check in with your teacher if they want you to. Let's take a look at page 3. Go ahead and complete A through F on your own, then come back to the video. Let's take a look at problem G. I'll zoom in. I know that parentheses mean multiply. So 5 times 10 is 50. And we're trying to find an equivalent number that we can multiply by 5 to get 20. So I'll ask myself, 5 times what number is 20? Well, 5 times 4 is 20. Go ahead and complete problem H, then come back to the video. For problem H, 11 times 2 is 22, and 11 times 8 is 88. So 8 will go in the blank. Go ahead and complete the rest of this page and check in with your teacher to get feedback. Let's take a look at the top of page 4. Our notes say you can simplify expressions by combining like terms. Make sure you're writing with me. And you can only combine terms that have the same variable. So if there's more than one A, you can combine all of your A's, you can combine all of your B's, and so on. So let's look at this example right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. We have 2 times 3A plus 4B plus 5A. So now we have 3 terms, but we're still going to treat it the same way. We're still going to multiply 2 times all 3 terms. So I'll start by doing 2 times 3A, which is 6A. Make sure you're writing with me. Then I'll do 2 times 4B, which is 8B. And then 2 times 5A, which is 10A. Okay, so this is similar to what we've already practiced, except now we had 3 terms. Now that we have this, I can look and say, oh, okay, well, I have 6A and then another 10A. So because they're the same variable, I can combine them to make 16A. So now I can rewrite this as 16A plus 8B. Let's practice another one. Let's take a look at example A. We're going to distribute the 10, our coefficient, on the outside of the parentheses and multiply it times each term on the inside. 10 times 2J is 20J. We'll bring down our plus. 10 times K is 10K. And 10 times 5J is 50J. That's our first answer. Our equivalent expression, we're going to combine our like terms. We have 20J and another 50J. Because they're both J, we can combine them. 20 plus 50 is 70J plus 10K. Just brought down the 10K. And that's our final answer as well. We cannot combine J and K. Go ahead and complete the rest of this page, then check in with your teacher if that's the direction they're giving you. Go ahead and complete page 5, then come back to the video. This video won't go over A, B, C, or D, but I do want to take a look at E. E says select all of the expressions that are equivalent. So we know there's going to be more than one answer. Now this problem doesn't have any parentheses, so we're not multiplying, we're adding. So we can combine our like terms. We have 10C plus 2C plus another 2C. So if it helps to write out C's, like here's 10C, then we have another 2C and another 2C. If I count all of my C's, 10 plus 2 plus 2 is 14C plus, and then I'll add my terms that don't have a number or don't have a variable. 9 plus 10 plus 1 is 20. So one of my answers is 14C plus 20. And we want to check always, if we have parentheses, we want to multiply it out to see if it's equivalent. So 2 times 7C is 14C, and 2 times 10 is 20. So this answer is also equivalent. Finish the rest of page 5, double check F, G, and H now that we've gone over that one, and then check in with your teacher. Complete page 6, then come back to the video. We won't go over A and B, but let's take a look at C. Maxie and Tyson are asked to write an expression equivalent to 2 times 8C plus 4D. Who is correct and why? Tyson is correct. Maxie incorrectly combined variables. Remember, this is the most common mistake I see. When we do 2 times 8C, we get 16C, and 2 times 4D is 8D. Think about these like 16 cats and 8 dogs. You cannot combine them to make cat dogs. They are separate animals, can only combine your variables if they're the same. Now, if this was a C, you could combine them and make 24C. But because they're separate variables, we keep them separate. To close out today, let's answer our debrief questions. In your own words, what did you learn today? How much effort did you put in during class 1 through 5? Explain. And what do you think is a common misconception or a common mistake a student might make on today's lesson? Once you've answered our debrief questions, go back to page 1. At the beginning of today's lesson, we rated ourselves before the lesson 1 through 5 on our learning targets. Now that we've gotten some more practice, you're going to rate yourself 1 through 5 after the lesson. Once you've rated yourself on page 1, get your teacher's initials. Thank you for joining us today at Middle Math Academy, where we practice distributive property level number 3. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. If you're looking for any additional practice, make sure to check out levels 1, 2, 4, or 5. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.